Hi guys, my name is Ian and welcome back to my channel. This is my series, My Take, where I offer my own opinion or perhaps a different opinion to situations in the world. Today I thought I would cover good old Just Stop Oil that are protesting in Britain and Europe. And yes, I know there are people out there who are like, oh well, we're in a climate emergency. Okay, I personally don't think it's as bad as everyone makes it out to be. I think a lot of it is fear-mongering to, stir people's emotions up. But I wanted to more look at, like, the Just Stop Oil protesters themselves, or activists, as what they actually are. Let's start using their proper terms for them. And also the actions of some people who have started having enough of these Just Stop Oil activists. Okay, well, let's go to Britain. For example, there was a while ago you had a couple of young ladies who threw paint or threw soup over a Van Gogh painting in an English museum. Now, explain to me how that actually affects the climate crisis. It doesn't. All you are doing is vandalizing property. You're not helping people follow your cause. And yes, it could be a good cause, and maybe we do all need to do a bit more for climate change. But again, why don't you go to the countries like India and China that actually cause the most pollution in the world? Because we all know what would happen if you went over to China and started ranting and raving to Xi Jinping. Also, that's not the only instance. There have been ones where they went to Wimbledon and guys got on the court and they threw orange paper or glitter or whatever it was on the court. They did the same at Lord's for the Ashes. I think there was an F1 at one of the Formula One Grand Prix. They had to stop the race to remove the protester off the track, But the main ones I'm also looking at is these ones where they sit in the middle of the road or they glue themselves to the road. Now, again, if you're gluing yourself to the road, you're being an inconvenience to everybody. And yes, everybody has the right to protest. That's not my issue here, right? But you also don't have the right to, impede on somebody else trying to get to work. Or what if an emergency service vehicle needs to get through? Say an ambulance. What if, say, someone's in the back of an ambulance and because it takes 10 minutes to move a activist's backside, the person in the ambulance doesn't make it. Is that activist going to get held liable? Heck no. And yes, while I don't condone violence, the guy that punched the Just Stop Oil activist in the weekend because that activist created a traffic accident between his pregnant girlfriend and a car behind. You can't blame people for getting angry about it. Yes, maybe he didn't have to belt the guy, but, when these people have been being nuisances for the last few months, people start becoming a little bit intolerant towards your cause. And you can't really blame them if they get angry at you over it. Again, the same with the blonde woman who grabbed the other female protester by her hair. I mean, personally, I thought well done to her because you've got to get these people off the road, stand on the side of the road and protest like most sane people do, Most people don't think you're supporting, doing a good cause. Most people, okay, they might be able to agree that the environment needs to be looked after, but they consider you just a bunch of activists or a bunch of nuisances and idiots and nut jobs. They don't consider you to be oh, yep, sweet, I'm going to start caring about the environment because some pink-haired freak, throws tomato or pumpkin soup over a Van Gogh painting. Yep, that's going to make me want to become an environmentalist. No, it's going to have the opposite effect. You're doing more damage to your cause than you actually are being successful. And yes, there are plenty of people out there who defend you. And well done to them if that's their calling in life. But, if you want to be treated a bit more seriously, maybe you also have to start respecting other people's rights to be able to go to their jobs and everything, And as I said earlier, if you're that worried about it, Just Stop Oil, here's an idea. Why don't you go to China, India, and some of these other countries where they're a little bit, shall we say, less tolerant towards you doing it? Because you and I both know what would happen. We all know what would happen. So, maybe you should be thankful that you live in countries where you have the actual right to be able to act like a bunch of pillocks and sit in the middle of the road. If I went and sat in the middle of the state highway in my country and I was protesting, I don't know, this, that and the other, I'd get quite rightly removed by the police, or I'd get hit by a car or something. And you know whose fault that would be? Have a guess. That's right, it would be my fault for being a douchebag. So maybe it's about time, you guys use a bit of common sense. Stand on the side of the road and protest. Don't vandalize paintings. Don't go to sporting events or dog shows or the flower show and do it, because one of yous are going to get seriously hurt one day. One of yous will just get mown down by a vehicle or something. And, that does nobody any good. The person who mows you down gets done, but also, one of yous will be losing your life potentially. So, you guys talk about it like it's a big issue. Okay, well then you guys need to also show respect the other way, instead of just climbing into blocking people on the road and climbing into their rights to be able to go to work or other activities, be considerate towards them. Because, that's the thing. At Wimbledon, nobody was cheering the Just Stop Oil protester that ran onto the court. Everybody was booing them. Nobody was cheering the guy at Lord's. Everybody was cheering the English cricketer that removed them. Nobody was cheering the idiot protesters in the middle of the F1 that did it. So maybe, guys, you need to be considerate too. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say on that subject. As usual, guys, I welcome your feedback. But as usual, keep comments YouTube respectful. Thanks. Bye.